For nearly 4 decades now, the country has recognized October as National Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
It's a time annually devoted to educating everyone about breast cancer.
We go on the record this morning to talk about the resources available for underserved communities to fight this disease.
From WPBF 25, this is On the Record with Todd McDermott and Nathalie Pozo.
Good morning and welcome to On the Record. I'm Todd McDermott.
And I'm Nathalie Pozo. Joining us this morning as we recognize Breast Cancer Awareness Month is Christopher Irizarry. He is the CEO of Found Care. Welcome, Christopher. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning.
Thank you so much for
Let's jump right in. Tell us about the mission of Found Care.
So the mission of Found Care is pretty simple. It's to provide health care and social services to all individuals and families. The reality is that we exist to make sure that people have access to primary health care services and so that they can live happy and fruitful lives. And that's really why we exist. And we make sure that we serve everyone in the community regardless of ability to pay. So anyone from the community who wants to come to Found Care to receive access to primary care for adults, pediatrics, women's health services, dentistry, pharmacy, behavioral health, psychiatry, can come to Found Care and receive those services, whether they're insured, whether they're uninsured, and even if they don't have the ability to pay.
So let's talk specifically, because of this being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, about mammograms, access to mammograms, and then how they're paid for. I understand that the fee can vary for people.
Sure. So we have a sliding fee scale system at Found Care. However, if a person comes in and doesn't have the ability to pay, we make sure we see them. When it comes to mammography, we partnered with the Promise Fund of Florida a few years ago to bring a mammography machine to Found Care and have it in-house. The reason being that in 2019, we had referred 500 women out to get a mammography, and only 100 women had gotten the mammography done. So working with the Promise Fund of Florida, they were able to get a mammography machine, a 3D Hologic machine, donated to Found Care and placed within our center. Since we did that in 2002, the latter part of 2002, we've screened over 4,000 women. And of the 4,000 women that we've screened, we've caught 17 cancers. So we've made a real difference in the lives of people by making sure that they can get those services done within Found Care's walls.
Christopher, and when we talk about Breast Cancer Awareness Month, early detection is always something that is just so important. So programs like this, they're just so desperately needed to be able to catch this before it's too late.
It's so true. At the end of the day, if we're not there to provide the screening, we do it for cervical cancer, we do it for breast cancer. We now even have an ultrasound machine. So if a woman has something in the breast, we can do the ultrasound as a follow-up and do the diagnostic mammography. The reality is, if we're not screening, we're not saving lives. That's just the bottom line. My father died at a very young age from liver cancer, and it was detectable. It was something that had he gone to the doctor, he would have been living. But the reality is he never went to the doctor, never checked on himself, and by the time he found out, it was too late. So for me, it's a life mission to make sure that at every point of life that I can provide screening and try to catch cancer before it grows into something is really important.
This is personal for you.
100% personal for me.
And I'm wondering, because these services are available, the challenges and how you've accomplished the idea of getting more people to know about Found Care, what you can provide. I'm sure many women, many people are surprised by what's available. How do you get the word out?
It's incredible. 67% of the folks that come to Found Care come there because they've heard of the organization through someone else who's used it, right? We do everything we can in terms of outreach and getting out to the community to remind or let people know, hey, come see Found Care, see what we do. You can get everything done in one day and then not worry about it again for another year. But it's really important that people take advantage of preventative medicine, of early detection, because the reality is that if, God forbid, a woman passes away from breast cancer, that's so impactful. Losing my dad was very difficult. But had I lost my mother, I probably wouldn't be sitting here today.
Christopher, let's talk a little bit about just anyone who may be watching right now and maybe is intimidated to get in touch with Found Care, or says, I probably can't afford it, or, maybe I won't be able to fall, within their criteria. What kind of message can we send to them?
I just encourage people to think about not themselves. Think about the people in your lives. When I lost my father, it impacted myself, my brother, my mother. That's who it impacted. Oftentimes when we think about our health, we're like, we're going to be fine. It's okay. And if something happens to me, oh well. but we don't think about those around us. And I think if people think about their loved ones before themselves, they'll realize how important your health is. Because if something goes wrong, how's the people you leave behind, how they're going to suffer? You got to think about that. So I encourage people to just come to Found Care, 561 Healthy, give us a call, and we will give you an appointment. You can walk into one of our sites and be seen the same day. But I encourage everyone to please, please, please come and get checked up and make sure that you're healthy.
561 Healthy.
Very
Easy to remember. Christopher
That's right.
Irizarry. Found Care is the name of the organization. Thanks so much for being on the record with us today.
Thank you very much for having
Thank you,
me.
Christopher.
Coming up, helping families who are now battling cancer. We talk with someone from the organization that takes care of the everyday bills those families face.
And we take a look at the program helping to boost confidence after cancer. That's when On the Record continues.
Hold it!
Imagine a world with no drama.
I haven't signed Jody's card yet.
At 4imprint, finding the promotional products you need to create a memorable moment is an easy mission. Our expert team will take care of every detail to make your success a certainty. Take the drama out of ordering promotional products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan.
A chance to have a bright and great future.
I'm helping somebody else, helping somebody else, helping somebody else.
Sometimes you just have to face your fears. Facing fears and clicking gears.
I'm Aixa Diaz.
And I'm Jared Hill. From kids to teens to adults of all ages, these stories will show you that you're never too young, too old, whatever, to do what you love.
This is Jared Sandell with The Friendly Homebuyer, and we buy houses in any condition with no fees, no hassle, and no repairs. We specialize in ugly houses, unwanted rentals, code violations, vacant land, foreclosures, and inherited houses. We'll even pay for probate. Don't want to deal with the hassle of home repairs? No worries. We buy houses as is. Need money right now? We can give you cash ahead of closing. Need to stay in the house for a bit after closing? No problem. Just let us know. We're A+ rated on the Better Business Bureau and have loads of 5-star reviews on Google. If you need someone who you know is gonna close, give us a ring or check us out at thefriendlyhomebuyer.com. That's thefriendlyhomebuyer.com.
As is, any condition, no closing costs and no commission. Give us a call to inquire at the Friendly Home Buyer.
WPBF 25 News at 5 and 6. Breaking news as it happens.
This is what we're learning.
More local news from trusted journalists, relevant stories, in-depth investigations, reporting that holds the responsible accountable. South Florida's most trusted meteorologists.
Tracking a line of severe storms
with certified most accurate forecasts that never have you second-guessing plans. Make time to watch WPBF 25 News at 5 and 6.
2 big deals for one weekend only at City Furniture's Fall Savings Event. Now through Monday, we'll cover the tax with 7% off. And we're giving you free premium delivery, including assembly, room placement, and cleanup on the best selection of leading styles, all at unbeatable values. City Furniture, everything you want in home.
You're watching On the Record on WPBF 25.
And joining us now to go on the record is Doug Duke, patient navigator with the Cancer Alliance of Help and Hope. They reach out to families in the middle of the fight so they can concentrate on healing and recovery. Doug, thanks for being here. Let's talk about that primary goal of the Alliance itself. What do you do?
So Cancer Alliance of Help and Hope assists cancer patients throughout all of Palm Beach County, any age, any cancer, who are having financial hardship while they're in an active treatment program. And the charity helps by paying those vital living expenses like rent and utilities and water bills. And the spirit of the help is to make sure that when people are in treatment, they're not losing their homes. They're not losing their pets. The water's not getting shut off. The car's not getting repossessed. They're not losing their insurance plans. And basically keeping life going so that they can focus on getting well. They can focus on their loved ones rather than financial catastrophe. Because that's what we hear all the time from patients when they're approved for assistance. They say, I can finally breathe. Somebody's on my side. Somebody's helping me pay the bills. I don't have to worry about the money as much, and I can just focus on actually getting better, which they couldn't do necessarily after getting that diagnosis that's such a shock to people.
It's half the stress for these patients. I mean, first they get the diagnosis, and then they say, how do I stay alive? You know, not just with treatment, but to keep their home, to keep their life together. It is a huge worry for people.
Yeah, you know, people can never be ready. You never know when a diagnosis like this is going to hit. And we talk to people all the time, and they think, I was doing so well. You know, with my health, with my finances, raising my kids, I thought I was making all the right choices. So nobody can be ready. So having that great compassion for people during this most hardest, most difficult time is what the charity specializes in.
Doug, so obviously health is the priority for all of these patients, but now we're talking about mounting medical bills and then the bills that don't stop just because you're sick. You mentioned some of the ones that you cover. What is the process for that in applying and in order for patients to be accepted under the program?
Yeah, so there's no income cap or anything like that. So anybody can apply to Cancer Alliance if they're showing financial hardship, active treatment, and they live in the county. Most likely they're going to be approved. The charity doesn't turn people away. And we help through financial assistance, but also care packages. And that includes emergency food, sometimes emergency fuel. We give a boost to people who will sometimes need wigs or scarves or shoes. And then we also have a pet program through Companions for Life where we help people keep their pets. Because we're finding many of the cancer patients say, I lived for my pet. I could no longer afford to care for them. And they're faced with losing them. Then they face that horrible choice again of if they lose the pet, then the will to live, the will to get better, giving them a purpose, to care for their animals just like they would care for their kids or other family members. So it's maintaining a life besides just paying the bills, keeping that family together, keeping where they live.
Yeah, I mean, we know how important animals are, especially when you're going through something like that, yes. So how are you able to keep this organization afloat? Do you rely on donations? How does it work?
It does. We have incredible, generous private donors who go to the events and they donate throughout the year, and maybe they'll do special programs like with kids' backpacks or target the money towards, people who, are facing issues with losing their pets. But we are blessed to have these very strong events throughout the year, so the organization's fully funded throughout the year. We don't have stop and go, and that's a blessing because nobody can ever, predict the timing of their diagnosis and when they're going to need that emergency help.
Let's talk about, before we let you go, we just have a few seconds left, but how do you find these families and how do they find you?
A lot of people, it's any way they can find Cancer Alliance. We are very active on social media, active out in the community, trying to go fairs, festivals. Medical centers and hospitals will often do the referrals, and then, of course, word of mouth. But we try to get the word out every day is what we're trying to do to let people know about the charity and the help.
All right, Doug, thank you so much for stopping by and talking about this wonderful organization. We appreciate it. And then that WIG program, of course, that just instills so much confidence in people who are going through something like this. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
Appreciate it.
Coming up here, we go from awareness to action. We're going to talk with a local nonprofit that helps reduce disparities in breast cancer screenings.
Let's talk about breast cancer.
The deadliest cancer among women. 1 in 8 will develop it.
The American Cancer Society
And WPBF 25 want to remind you
At 18.
practice self-awareness.
So you can identify changes. At 21, schedule an annual well woman visit.
and make sure
Your doctor knows if it runs in your family.
at age 40,
Get your mammogram.
Finding it early means more successful treatment. Fight for your health. Fight breast cancer.
First Warning Weather, sponsored by Stanley Steamer.
The hot summer temps will soon be in our rearview mirror, and we can look forward to spending more time outdoors. How good does de-stressing in a hot tub or swimming and exercising in a swim spa sound? head over to Southeast Pools and Spas. We pride ourselves on finding the perfect fit for your lifestyle and budget. We're extending our offer of a free Big Green Egg, a $1,000 value with the purchase of a hot tub, and a free barbecue grill, a $2,000 value with the purchase of a swim spa. Southeast Pools and Spas. Financing is always available.
Morgan & Morgan is not only America's largest injury law firm, we're also the only injury law firm in the world with lawyers licensed in all 50 states. With dedicated attorneys focused on personal injury, medical malpractice, insurance disputes, and many others, we have a 30-year track record of getting results for clients just like you. So wherever you are, whatever you need, our firm is ready to take your call. There's only one Morgan & Morgan. For the people.
This is where the newsmakers come first in the morning to be heard. America's #1 morning show.
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000. Yeah. Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
Wherever the story, ABC's Good Morning America is right there.
Trust is earned. And for more than a decade, I've had the privilege of working side by side with Chris.
And Mike, it's truly been an honor to work with you and for our community.
Severe storms, rain, or the temperatures, we've been committed to getting every detail right.
Always keeping in mind that your safety is all that matters.
I can step back and know our viewers are in very good hands. Count on Chief Meteorologist Chris Martinez.
Ropa Vieja, a Cuban staple, a labor of pure love that takes hours and patience. When I boil Tropical, we've got Ropa Vieja ready whenever you want. Tender, juicy, shredded beef, slow cooked in tomato sauce, garlic, and spices, then topped with onions and peppers. Get it on a platter, top tostones, or a Tropi Chop. The new Ropa Vieja Pollo Tropical. Leave the Cuban cooking to us.
With Fargo, the new virtual assistant from Wells Fargo. When Dad brings up the importance of
Building credit.
you're ready.
Dad, Fargo? What's my FICO score?
Wow, it's a work of art.
Do you, Fargo? You can with Wells Fargo. What else can Fargo do? Instantly tell you what you spend on things like food.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries this month?
Hey, Dad, can the guy stay for dinner?
No.
Want faster, easier banking? You can with Wells Fargo.
Welcome back to On the Record. Joining us now is Denise Williams, founder of Sojourners with Healing Hearts. Thank you so much, Denise, for being here with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
So talk to us about who the organization targets.
We target those women who are underserved or underinsured, mostly in the African American community, because we're trying to, eliminate the disparities in our treatment and our detection.
It's such an issue to not only get the treatment to underserved communities, but inform them that it's available. How do you find women to give them access to mammograms, and how do you find them in the community? It's hard to get the word out.
Churches, we were founded because there were 5 women in our church that were diagnosed with breast cancer. So we thought, oh my God, we got to figure out a way to get others to even tell someone that they have cancer. So we usually, medical professionals, we do have a couple of them on our board, referrals, and we do a lot of community outreach in our community.
And you have a hospital involved too with this, right?
Boca Raton Regional, yes, we use their Presto Mammo van. But we do screenings throughout the community, different locations.
So you drive to some areas then involve making access
Yes,
available to
yes.
people who maybe don't have the time to come over.
Exactly.
That's wonderful. So what are the requirements for the women?
There's no income or any kind of requirements. Anybody who needs it, we offer it to them.
And Denise, we spoke with our earlier guest too about just how important early detection is. So through programs like this, they're really needed so that, a woman can get screened early and hopefully it's not too late.
Yes, that's why we try to, with the support group, break the stigma. We offer that, on the second Thursdays of the month, 6 p.m. via Zoom, so that we can talk about it once we do. And then we spread the word. We have Pink Ambassadors, which is our teenage volunteers who talk about it with their parents and their peers, so that we can break the stigma and talk about it to be more comfortable.
Let's talk more about your support groups. And I know that you also are a presence at health fairs and other community events. And the support groups could be a big part of this.
Absolutely. To get, even after you're diagnosed, to get the support afterwards, going through it. You know, because like before, if you encounter different challenges, money, income, can't work, support, just to talk about it and to talk with someone who has gone through the journey. We do have some of our members that will go to appointments with survivors.
Yeah. You have a screening event coming up.
Yes.
Talk to us about it.
Yes, it's Better Together. That's going to be October 21st from 10 to 2 at Manifest Church on 2275 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard. So it's one of our big events.
Denise, what message do we want to give to women who are watching? Because so many times I feel women, they never put themselves first, right? They're mothers, they're working, they're active in their church, they're active in their community, and maybe they put their health aside a lot, What can we tell them?
Early detection is the best protection. You have to take care of yourself, like your previous guest said. If the breadwinner or the main person in the family, if something happens to them, that affects everybody else, the survivors and the family members. It really does. We do have to put ourselves first.
We want you to know that what you and your volunteers do is so wonderful and so important to the community. It's really appreciated.
Thank you.
And so important. It's Denise Williams. It's so generous with Healing Hearts. Thanks for going on the record with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
All right, coming up next, we introduce you to a survivor who is now using her experience to help others.
Move toward a world free of blood cancers. The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's Light the Night offers hope, connection, life-saving research, and support with every step. Join WPBF 25 as we light the night against the darkness of cancer.
There when news breaks in Wellington. WPBF 25 News Mornings.
If you're struggling to lose weight, here's a proven medical solution, and it works fast. It's called RM3 from Red Mountain Weight Loss. RM3 attacks unhealthy fat, helping you lose up to 20 pounds a month. This patented medication is available only by prescription, and you can only get it from Red Mountain Weight Loss. Schedule your telemedicine appointment today.
I lost weight immediately after I started Red Mountain. And when you see that kind of success, you can't help but just want to keep going.
Get back to the real you with RM3.
When it comes to smarter hurricane protection, more Floridians are choosing StormSmart.
Choosing StormSmart was one of the best decisions I made in 2022.
The shutters were instrumental in protecting our home during Hurricane Ian.
The winds were howling, but the plants on Mile and I didn't even move.
I would recommend that anyone living in a heavy storm area would get the protection and peace of mind from these custom-made shutters.
Call 866-60-SMART and start designing your custom StormSmart screens and high-impact windows today.
Kids love it, dogs love it, golfers love it, and you'll love Purchase Green Artificial Grass, a maintenance-free lawn with a lifetime warranty. Let us show you how Purchase Green saves time and money. Call now or visit purchasegreen.com for your free estimate.
One highly experienced team, one predictable and reliable procedure, one priority, happy patients with perfect smiles. Done-in-One gives patients an entire row of non-removable lifelike teeth with as little as 4 dental implants. Say goodbye to dentures and hello to a stunning, permanent zirconia smile in just 1 week. Call Done-in-One today for a free consultation. It's never too late to love the way you look.
All we needed was a gallon of milk.
Just blocks from home.
Turning left. The same left I've made 1,000,000 times.
And then I saw them.
I'll never forget the sound of the crash.
They ran a red light.
And my life changed.
I just want the pain to go away.
Pain to go away.
I want my life back.
I want them to be held accountable.
I want justice.
Justice.
I want someone who can help me.
We can help. If you've been injured in a car accident, get Gordon and Partners. ForTheInjured.com.
On the Record continues now. WPBF 25 News spoke in depth with a local woman who's proud to say she fought and beat breast cancer.
She shared her story with morning anchor Erin Guy and spoke about what she's doing now with her second chance at life.
Dory Eden.
Very good.
Will celebrate her 67th birthday this month.
We're training for doubles. I planned 4 doubles teams.
Her cancer fight started in 2017 after a clean 3D mammogram. She asked for an ultrasound.
It was actually the ultrasound that detected my cancer.
Yep.
I had stage 1
milk duct breast cancer. It was called invasive ductal carcinoma.
She had a lobectomy, 19 radiation treatments, and was on medication for 4 years.
It's petrifying for anyone who gets it, no matter what type you have, because there's so many unknowns. You can't live there. That doesn't help you in any way.
And that's when she took her childhood nickname and revived it, the Dorinator.
I guess that was when the Terminator first came out. And so I went right out and I ordered customized license plates. My car says Dorinator on it.
Once Dory's cancer was removed, it was game, set, match. She was back on the tennis court and she was ready for the dance floor. Get it, girl! Swing dancing competitions, keep her active and social.
Anything I can do to feel connected to other people is really important for me.
Dory created Team It's All About the Girls, a way to raise money and spread awareness for making strides against breast cancer.
Early detection is something I'm very passionate about, and I always believe that knowledge is king, and you really need to trust yourself and trust your gut and see what is best for you.
Erin Guy, WPBF 25 News.
Oh, such an inspiring woman.
She can hit that ball, too.
Yeah, she did. Dory's Making Strides team, it's called It's All About the Girls, uses a raffle to raise money for the walk.
And if you would like to join her team to learn how you can donate, we have the link on our website. That's WPBF.com. You can also watch this morning's On the Record episode and every episode on the website, WPBF.com, and on our free WPBF 25 News app. And as always, we're encouraging you to be part of our discussion, our conversation, each and every Sunday right here at 10 a.m.
Matter of Fact with Soledad O'Brien is next. We'll see you again next Sunday.